newest biotech to fight dengue fever. To tell us about it, Chief Executive Dr. David Foster joining us now from Island Pharmaceuticals in Puerto Rico, I believe. David, great.
Absolutely right. I'm in Puerto Rico at the moment, yes.
Great to talk to you. Congratulations on the listing. Just tell us why you've been through this process.
Through the listing process?
Correct.
Yeah. So we put Island Pharmaceuticals together a couple of years ago based on some technology out of Monash University. We knew that mosquito-borne viruses were an expanding problem, and especially with dengue. Dengue is a significant unmet medical need. 390 million people at risk or that get dengue fever every year. So we knew that there was a significant need. Since we had technology based on Monash University, we thought that it made sense to go public in Australia. We have a phenomenal team of advisors that come from Australia, and so it was the right opportunity. We had an Australia-centric story, and we're looking forward to being able to capitalize on that and move things forward.
David, as someone who used to live in Singapore, we were actually fined for leaving a little bucket of water. Dengue is so prolific, but one thing the impression I had was that dengue was something whereby you manage the symptoms. Are you inoculating against dengue, or are you managing the symptoms?
Yeah, that's a great question. So you're correct. Most of the time, people have tried to attack dengue by eliminating the mosquitoes, or you can try to treat the symptoms associated with an infection. We're a bit unique in that we are developing a molecule. It's a small molecule, orally available pill that you would take that in animal models and in human cell studies demonstrates that it has activity to prevent infection, or that it can reduce the viral load once an infection has occurred. So it is acting as though we're preventing the viral replication. So with the hope is that if you're infected, we can treat that and reduce the viral infection. Alternatively, if you were about to go into the rainforest or somewhere this weekend, maybe you would take ESL 101 and then you would be protected against an infection.
So is that how you will distribute it? Is it something you could just buy at a chemist before you go traveling, or do you need bigger medical intervention?
No, we'll need bigger medical intervention. So you'll need a prescription. It's going to be a prescription drug. We'll have to get FDA clearance for that. But we envision marketing this initially as a prophylactic. Our target audience would be travel medicine clinics, potentially the military, for instance, sending people into endemic regions. Alternatively, we will plan to do clinical trials later down the road looking at the effect of this molecule as a potential therapeutic. So then we would be able to treat people as they come into the hospital or into the clinic demonstrating infection.
Actually started out as a potential cancer drug and then was repurposed. So where are you at as far as those trials are concerned?
Yeah, so the molecule was developed many years ago, and it was initially developed as a potential cancer drug. The benefit for us of that is that there are volumes of literature describing preclinical as well as clinical results demonstrating that the drug has an excellent safety profile. So that enables us to leapfrog what is the traditional drug development path. For instance, you have phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 clinical trials. We're going to be able to leapfrog the phase 1 clinical trials and move straight into a phase 2 clinical study. And we're going to be focused on a dengue infection. So our first clinical trial will be to see if we can reduce a dengue infection.
David, do you have anything else in the pipeline that we can look forward to hearing from Island Pharmaceuticals?
Well, yes. So we are working on a pipeline expansion strategy right now. We have a research collaboration agreement in place with Monash University. The purpose of that is to expand from mosquito-borne viruses and from dengue, looking at other viruses where there's a significant unmet medical need. Again, we'll employ our strategy of looking for molecules with a clinical history to try to repurpose those molecules for other viruses. Again, the strategy being be efficient, get to later stage clinical trials faster than we might otherwise be able to do.
David, thanks very much for joining us from Island Pharmaceuticals.
Thank you very much.
And